Welcome everyone to today's movie news. We have three quick stories to look through today. First up, Your Name is getting a live action remake, or adaptation perhaps might be a better word. This was very popular a few years ago. I know Connor was super into it. I didn't watch it because I tend to avoid anime things like the plague. But it is being remade by Paramount and Bad Robot, along with Toho. They've got a director. They've got Lee Isaac Chang, who's going to rewrite and direct the film for the studios. So, yeah, Toho's going to handle distribution in Japan, with Paramount releasing elsewhere. In this reimagined version, two teenagers discover they are magically and intermittently swapping bodies. When a disaster threatens to upend their lives, they must journey to meet and save their worlds. If I remember correctly, the people who've seen this did say that it kind of changed a little bit as the story went along. That there was a big sort of like turning point in the story, maybe halfway through. I seem to remember Connor saying that about it back when he was raving about it. But yeah, this is one of these weird things where I actually think the premise sounds kind of interesting. As a lot of anime movie premises often do, I tend to like science fiction. I tend to like robots and shit like that. But for whatever reason, anime makes it super unappealing to me. Now, maybe this is good. Maybe this is one of those ones where you're convinced that it would change my mind. That if I watched this, I'd see the light and I'd be like, oh, yes, anime can be good. But I hear that about a lot of things, and the few examples I've tried, for the most part, have not turned out in my favour. So, a live action version sounds like a good idea. It sounds like a good premise that we can, you know, put out there, and I don't have to suffer through the anime elements of it. But the initial draft of the script was written by Arrival screenwriter Eric Heiserer, which I believe he also did a bunch of not good stuff too. But Arrival is a pretty good thing to have on your filmography. So there you go. That is Your Name, coming from Paramount, Bad Robot, and Toho. Next up, Netflix has acquired a novel series for adaptation. It's called The Hunt for Atlantis, and Deadline here are calling it a big franchise potential. Andy McDermott wrote the novel, and it's been in the works for a while with Aaron Berg writing and producing. Matt Reeves is also producing this as well. So the book is the first in what's called the Wild Chase series, and that has 15 books in it. So this could potentially be a long running thing if they want to go that far. And admittedly, are they going to do 15 movies? Maybe they'll condense some of them, or maybe if a few of them are crappy, they'll jettison a couple of them out the airlock. But why I'm making an airlock joke as if this is a sci-fi story, I don't know, but I am. So deal with it. So yeah, years after the disappearance of her parents, brilliant NYU graduate Nina Wilde teams with a Cavalier ex SAS British bodyguard Eddie Chase when a tech billionaire sends them on a globe-trotting race to discover the legendary Lost City. Subsequent titles revolved around the pursuit of the mythical sword Excalibur, the Great Hall of Valhalla, the Fountain of Youth, and the Golden City of El Dorado. So yeah, it sounds like a very Uncharted, maybe a little Indiana Jones, going after kind of all the famous mythological items or places, story by story. This is the sort of thing that could make that Uncharted movie that Sony have been desperately trying to get going for a while redundant if it's any good. And maybe it will be, maybe it'll be fun. I can't say the description of the characters sounds particularly exciting, but I don't see why they would. Like they're here to be our two leads to go off in this chase. So if it's fun, if it feels like Uncharted with likable characters, I see no reason why this couldn't be a big thing for Netflix. The quality, of course, it remains to be seen. None of the names here are. I mean, obviously Matt Reeves being one of the producers is a little promising, but he's not actually writing or directing it, so that doesn't fill me with that much of a good vibe. But hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about a little today is a John Boyega film, and we have, is this another novel adaptation as well? Novella, technically, in this case. But yeah, so we have the Sylvain Nouvelle novella, and I may have pronounced that name wrong because often I do, but it's called The Test. And John Boyega and Payman Maddy are going to star in it. Gavin Hood is directing. And it's about a soft-spoken immigrant, played by Maddie, taking a citizen evaluation test, and a brilliant young behavioral psychologist, played by Boyega. By Boyega. That's hard to say. Boyega. Because I wanted to say Boyega instead of Boyega. Boyega. Supervising the test. So, yes, confront a terrorist group led by a far-right fanatic. Wait, that's a test? I don't, Johan, let me read this again. I stopped in the middle so much that I have to go back and reassess this on. Right, soft-spoken immigrant taking a citizen evaluation test and a brilliant young behavioral psychologist supervising the test. Confront a terrorist group led by a far-right fanatic. Okay, so the test is not that. That's after the test, or they meet in the test and then they do this after the test. Okay, fine. So who directed it? Sotse? And the more recently tense drone drama Eye in the Sky. Oh, I remember hearing about that. I never saw it, but I'm familiar with that as existing, so that's something. So yeah, this is Entertainment One who are behind this. I'm not particularly necessarily super excited by this. I do like Boyega, and he's had a lot of energy in whatever I've seen him in, whether it be Attack the Block, the Pacific Rim sequel, and obviously Star Wars. But who knows? Maybe it'll be good. But yeah, so that was the 3 stories that stuck out from the last 24 hours that I thought were worth mentioning. So if you enjoy these little bite-sized news shows, let me know that it's worth continuing, and give me a like there. Really important to do that on YouTube. It's a really simple and easy way to support everything we do. And although worth mentioning, I don't imagine you'll get one ever on a Sunday or a Monday, just because news tends to be late on Saturdays and Sundays. But I mean, there could be exceptions. But yeah, so let me know. And obviously, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/MailFuzzTV, for bonuses, for a small amount of support. And of course, get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. But otherwise, that's us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. Always appreciate it. And, I need to bring my movie catchphrase back. So keep watching movies. And if you can get it, it's always nice to have diplomatic immunity.